Have you ever seen an advisor practice who appears to have absolutely everything figured out? And you wondered, like, what the heck has this person done to actually get there? This person, you might have seen somebody up on stage, they're getting an award at a conference or something for writing this huge amount of premium. But it sounds easy, but what you don't know is all the hard work that it took for this person to get there. So I'm here to say that there's really two different ways that you can go about accomplishing the same thing. The first way, which is what many people do, is they just try to figure it out themselves. And they do it the hard way. They make all these mistakes. But the second way is to actually follow a blueprint that many other advisors have used and just follow them by example. So my name is Kevin, and I shot this video because I want to help you learn something that I've learned over the last 20 years, helping advisors grow. I've worked with advisors back, originally who had just gotten their insurance license. They had no experience. And I've helped them grow their practice to making over $1 million a year, or sometimes even more in profit. So I'm not making this up. I'm coming to you with some real, genuine experience. So the thing I want you to think about right now is, what stage of growth are you in at this moment? I'm going to talk about these stages, and think about exactly where you are. Because I want to help you identify where you are now so that you can break through to that next stage of growth. So this first stage is something that I call this the product salesperson, right? Like, this is the brand new advisor. You're excited, you just get your insurance license, you get out there, you get some product knowledge, and all you need is like the perfect product. Do your research, find the best product, and that's all you need. You're gonna be a product expert, you do this research, you know everything about the product you're gonna sell. You might decide, like, hey, I need some professional designations. I'm gonna get all these letters behind my name to show everybody how smart I am. And then all of a sudden, you think that all you have to do is just be this expert, and all you have to do is open up an office. You put up the open sign on the front, you turn it on, you sit back, you relax, and it's like this scene out of Field of Dreams where people just show up out of the cornfields into your office, waiting in line to talk to this expert that they've been looking for. But what happens? That doesn't happen, does it? Well, after accumulating all this product knowledge and all this expertise, you find out that people don't show up. People don't care if you're an expert. They don't care how much you know. Nobody cares. But the big problem that this advisor face is they need people to talk to, like a consistent flow of new prospects. And once an advisor gets to this stage, they're about to enter the next phase of their journey. The second phase is what I call the marketer. This advisor, they've graduated the second phase. They realize that it doesn't matter how much you know, really you need a consistent flow of people to talk to. Client acquisition becomes their new priority, the thing that they need to master, the thing that they need to figure out the most. They start learning about marketing, and they might set up like different types of funnels, like maybe where they run some events, they do online marketing, they do radio or TV or whatever it is, but the priority becomes having an absolutely full calendar of appointments. So they think, like, initially, I fixed this problem, like all these people are coming to talk to me and it's great, but all of a sudden something else happens is they realize that they're actually not closing as many cases as they should be. And they learn something really important at this point, and that is that the sales process is the most important thing. They need a written, scripted, planned, and executed sales process that they can use over and over and over. Just like a musician playing a song, they need to master the song by doing it over and over and over. And once they do this, their sales process becomes this thing that they name, they trademark it, and now this becomes the product that they sell. When the advisor arrives here, they've come to a place that 90% of the people out there, the advisors out there, have never come to. Like, if you're at this place, congratulations. They realize that their process is their product. And once they realize this, they have to go back and rebrand absolutely everything, like their website, their logos, like this new identity that they need to adopt is all around this phase where their process is their product. But now they face a new dilemma, right? We always run into some sort of new problem. They have all these leads that want to talk to them. It's like the perfect situation, but they can't, like, their calendar's full. They can't grow and they can't scale because their time now becomes a scarcity. If they want to grow, they have two options. They can clone themselves and just have two copies of themselves right next to each other running twice as many appointments. But since that's not actually a solution yet, you have to hire another advisor. And once they do this, whether they know it or not, they're entering into this third phase of growth. This last phase is what I call the CEO. So this is probably the hardest phase because it requires like this hard mental shift for an advisor. The advisor, up to this point, they've been doing everything themselves. You see, they're the advisor, do everything type model. The clerical work, the janitor, the staff, everything. And they have to pull themselves back from being that lead advisor role and instead moving into this bigger role. They've graduated, they promoted themselves. They start thinking about like, what's our mission? And well, like, what are our core values? And like, why would somebody want to come work for me? And why would they stay working with me for a long period of time? Like, how do you attract new talent? They transition from being, an advisor to a CEO at this point. This is the place that every person wants to be. That person that got that award up on stage that you saw, that's that person. They have a high-performing staff. They have a predictable income stream. They've liberated themselves from having to do everything themselves. And now they can spend their time doing what they want to do rather than what they have to do. So now that I've gone through these 3 stages, what stage do you think that you are in right now?